Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello, people. Yes. Yes. No, don't panic. We're not showing you the episode.
Oh, thank God.
It's okay. It will be okay, chat. You don't have to worry. You don't have to hear singing awesome footage. I think Loki made that for me when I first started, actually.
I was gonna say
So,
that intro's the original one, right?
yeah, I went back to it. The funniness of the all men must die meme, even as stale as it was, finally wore off for me. So I might have to make me a new one eventually. But right now we're going classic. We're going full classic on that. So, oh yeah. And yes, I'm very proud of this picture that I found. I just want everyone to know. I'm very proud of this image I ripped off the internet and added Fez's to. Alright? Wasn't expecting much when you search black cat dancing for the thumbnail. But I was pleasantly surprised. So,
Okay then.
yes. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Yeah. And apparently it was so good that Chris didn't even do a whole lot to it because I'd reached Chris levels in my thumbnails, so we did it. We
Wow.
did it. I did it, Josh. Yeah. But yeah, I got like a 2 hour hard cutoff point, so I thought, what should I do for 2 hours? And I decided to torture y'all with going over the musical episode of the stupid Star Trek series that I keep every time. So let me vent about Paramount Plus real quick. All right, so last week I talked about how Paramount Plus begged Loki to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely begged him in his email, and so we have a free month. So
Yes.
they gave us the highest tier for free, right? So this is the highest tier that they gave for free for a month because they just assume you're not going to remember to cancel it.
Right.
Um, do you know what I don't? When I'm thinking about like the highest tier for something, do you know what I'm not thinking about having on there? Ads.
Oh.
Do you know what the highest tier on Paramount Plus still gives you? Like a minute of ads before you watch the episode. Unskippable, and it's always their own shows. It's nothing new. It's the same 50 seconds of footage, like pretty much every single time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the one that
When I was capturing the footage for my Picard review, uh, I got the same ads every damn episode.
and you know what really bums me out more than anything? The fact that the Strange New Worlds trailer music that they use is actually good and I like it. And I hate that. Because I was like, okay, well maybe we could just get the soundtrack, right? Because that's a good music. I like that music. Da 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 da. Like I like that. That's good music. And then I find out that's not music they use. And I'm like, what? I'm so. Why would you make something so good for the trailer and then not use it? Why?
Well,
Oh no.
Are you talking about the main title theme or the musical part?
No, I'm talking about the music in the trailer. You know the Paramount Plus ad I'm talking about, right? That
Oh
has the
yeah. Okay.
Strange New
Okay.
Worlds episode, like the Strange New Worlds trailer in it. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about, that ad that plays like
Yes.
every time. Um, that music is good. I like that music. I think it
It's
sounds
okay.
adventurous. I think it
Yeah.
sounds triumphant. I think it would fit I would think it would fit that show. From what it would seem, the very little that you see, and then you get some cringe portions, and you want to die. You're just asking yourself, why does someone have half a shaved head? Is that an alien? Oh no, that's just a human with a bad haircut. Okay. Anyway, what am I doing now? Oh, there's like a group of women insulting Spock. Why?
Because Spock is the butt monkey in the show. He's the one that gets the laughs.
But he's just a Vulcan, and they're a little, they're. Oh my goodness! I've been watching Enterprise, and it's a stupid episode that we watched last night. Surak. It's the episode with the emotional balancing, quote unquote balancing Vulcans. The Vulcans without logic. I forget what the actual name is in Vulcan, but it's the Vulcans without logic.
Oh, them, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and, I remember that.
Most of them were chill. They were pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of the secret. If you're gonna have that you're chill. You're like the hippies. You're the Vulcan hippies. You're just chill and whatever. Somebody that has anger issues needs to be kicked off.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate seeing one of my favorite characters on the show getting how do I put this wanded by somebody because they don't know mind melding is a forbidden practice, which was a bizarre thing to hear from someone who's basically
it gets so much worse with the mind meld.
Well, they don't know what they're doing. It's like, okay, let me get my ADD medicine from some, I don't know.
Hi, Loki.
Oh yeah. Everyone is saying hi because the door is squeaky. But it's just, It's knowing Surek's teachings now, and understanding Surek's teachings versus what they know now is very frustrating.
Bye, Loki.
Damn door. It's the dramatic irony of knowing, knowing where they end up with knowing Surek, because they know so little. The Vulcans know so little about Surek's teachings. They understand very, very little compared to what I know, which is very weird because I'm a human, It's just a bizarre, state to be in. The mind meld is forbidden since when? This is 100 years before TOS.
I really, really, really hate what they do with what they did with the Vulcans in Enterprise.
It's interesting to me. I don't like that one dude. Throw him out of the airlock. I was like, oh, this is gonna be T'Pol's bad boy episode. Oh, he's tempting her, not with motorcycles and black leather jackets. He's not tempting her with that. He's tempting her with emotion. And I started getting uncomfortable, nice guy Reddit vibes from him. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. And then he did what he did with the mind meld, and it felt dirty. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't know what they're doing. He literally didn't know what he was doing.
It's an AIDS allegory.
Oh, I didn't read that at all. I didn't read that at all. I read that as, okay, so you read how to, I don't know. It's like reading, it's like going to a restaurant and seeing, oh, look, an alcoholic drink that I like, but they don't tell you how much of each ingredient to put in. And then you try to make it at home and it sucks because obviously you don't know how much ingredient to put in to make it taste good. And so the mind meld at home versus the mind meld at the restaurant were vastly different. And I don't like the mind meld at home. I'm going to go out to the restaurant, okay? And I feel like it's going to take me a while to get there. Because he didn't know what he was doing, it was the arrogance of, yeah, I read this somewhere. I know what I'm doing, and it's like, but you don't. It's like it's like surgery. You can't just read about it. Okay, you just can't.
My biggest issue with the whole mind meld thing is keep it mysterious, and because I always took it as, since Vulcans are mildly telepathic and they repress their emotions, it's a way for them to be intimate with each other while still keeping their emotions controlled.
Yeah,
but to have it be a society thing that's it's this outcast type thing, I thought that was a colossal mistake. I hate it.
Well, I didn't like how it was used, and I don't mind the Vulcans right now. They're like the helicopter parents, you know, to the humans, kind of, sorta. They're just like, you don't know what you're doing. But I also think this is like their first time actually, like, I don't know, raising a species, you know, of sorts. And they don't know what they're doing, and we are vastly different than them in a lot of ways. So I kind of liked that. Like, I didn't mind that humans and Vulcans butt heads, right? Because you have people who are more, obviously you have like the emotional humans, quote unquote, and then you have the logical Vulcans who apparently have forgotten or don't know why they have logic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting to have a tradition that you don't even truly know is like why it exists. You know, that's kind of fascinating in and of itself. I don't know. The Vulcans are interesting. I'm gonna have to see more. I did not like that. Loki told me, he's like, I almost skipped this episode because I knew you weren't gonna like it, and I was just like, it's fine. I need to watch. If I want to watch the show properly, I need to watch it all. There is one Battlestar Galactica episode that I'm totally okay that we skipped though. What was it? It was the sun going out on the black market, whoring around and getting the drug episode or whatever. I don't remember exactly, but it was like a black market. For some reason, that popped up on Battlestar Galactica and then never ever came back ever in the future. Like, okay. You know, self-contained cringe episodes like that, I'm kind of okay with, you know?
Filler episodes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's
there's nothing inherently... There's nothing inherently wrong with a self-contained episode. It's how you do it. It's what story do you tell?
Yes. No, I get that. This one didn't feel that self-contained because it was kind of like, you know, it was like they were kind of expanding what we know on Vulcans, kind of pre-TOS, right? And I just, maybe it's because I just didn't like him. You know, I'm used to Spock. I like Vulcans. They're probably my favorite species. Yeah. They're utterly fascinating. I've always had a thing for Vulcans. You know,
there's a reason why Spock. There's a reason why Spock, despite being unemotional, is the heart of the franchise.
Yes. People incorrectly think that, you know, on TOS, like McCoy is like the heart, right? Because he's very passionate, he's very lively. It's like, okay, well, to be perfectly honest, if there's going to be a character that somebody's going to wear on a shirt of Star Trek, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Spock. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10. Like, that's just kind of how it is, because he is iconic. So it's, you know, Enterprise, it is interesting. It is kind of like seeing kids get out of the house for the first time and explore life on their own after they've been cooped up for so long. You know, there's no prime directive, which makes me want to bang my head against the wall so many times. There was it Dear Doctor episode that was like the hey, do we let evolution take its course?
I hate that episode with a passion.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it made total logical sense. I agreed with the Doctor.
How?
What do you mean how?
How? What Phlox did is morally repugnant.
Oh. Okay. I mean, evolution. If they hadn't interfered,
but they had
then...
okay. Hold on. The whole idea that this species will because they're not immune or they're immune to this disorder, so we can use them to help find a cure. That's idiotic because they specifically state in that episode that they are two different species entirely. And what they're suffering from is a genetic disorder. Therefore, there shouldn't be any crossover at all. How
Well, to be fair, if we're breaking it down like on the logic of the episode was absolutely silly because it's 1/3 of your population that has it. So that means the 2/3 are still going to thrive. So even if you gave them the cure, there's still 2/3 of the population. You know what I mean? So like, it's not going to take over. But if you look at it just from like,
okay,
yeah.
but the whole idea of Flock saying, "Oh, this is all natural. This is all just a part of evolution." That is complete bullshit.
How?
Species don't evolve to die. They don't just develop a genetic disorder to die. This is a sapient race that you've developed a cure for, and as we see, these are two species that are living in pretty decent harmony with each other. So, you're allowing for genocide when you have developed the cure? That's evil.
Is it genocide if it's evolution?
But it's not evolution. That's not how evolution works.
Okay, well then there's an inherent flaw with the episode saying that it is evolution. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking on his decision, I don't mind his decision. But if we're talking about like the dynamic of the episode is silly because there are several times that several things are stated that it's like, okay, well, there's no reason. Like, there's no reason for evolution doesn't work like that, right?
Right.
It's 1/3 of the population, so there's still 2/3 that don't of this specific population that don't have it. So giving a cure, like, yeah, you're going to cure 1/3 of the population, but there's still like 2/3 left. So that should have been the focus of the moral quandary. But instead, we had this subset species. Like, it was like 2 episodes in one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was 2 different, like, you could have 2, like, the big, you know how, like, you had the Neanderthals and then you had us, the Homo sapiens? And then if the Neanderthals didn't, like, basically die off and we become the dominant humanoid species on this planet, like, what would have happened? Probably something similar, right? But I think that would be more of an interesting episode, that idea by itself, and you don't need the genetic disease thing. That could have been a separate episode. So those are 2 different episode ideas that got pushed into one for some reason, and I think those both would have been stronger episodes. Yeah, like the moral quandary of oh my gosh, do we interfere with these 2 factions that, one's a little oppressive to the other, and like, do we do anything to that? Or like, hey, 1/3 of the population of this species is going to die off if we don't do anything, but there's still 2/3, so they're going to live on. So do we interfere with that? Like, that's fine. That's fine. That having those 2 different episodes, but squishing them into one made it clunky in that aspect.
Welcome to Enterprise.
But I don't mind his decision, because given the information I was given, it was kind of like, well, I don't. 2/3 of this species are going to live on, right?
But they also said it was spreading.
Oh, I must have missed that portion of it.
So yeah, it's
how does the genetic disorder spread? Stop copulating. Stop it. You're not allowed to have sex anymore, people. Stop copulating. You'd have to go through like a screening process and see like could you do the thing? A genetic order doesn't spread like that unless like you're having sex and having offspring that then have it. You know what I mean? Like a genetic order doesn't spread like a viral infection would because it's in your genes. Like it would have to be an insane virus in order to get into your chromosomes.
Again, this is one of the many issues I have with that episode, because you can't just create like a vaccine for a genetic disorder. You just can't do that.
See, that was my other thing. Is I was like, okay, you should have just had him not come up with a. Well, you can't. He can't solve anything. So that was why I said what he did was correct, because I was like, okay, so even if you cure, quote unquote, cure this thing now, it's genetic. It's coming back. It's eventually going to come back because it's a genetic thing. They're not able to do that, right? So it's annoying in that aspect. If I sit here and think about it, the episode is annoying, but I agreed, given the information I was given, that he did the right thing. So they should have also said no more sex, because you can't spread a genetic. Like you can't sneeze and give someone a genetic. Like you're not destroying their chromosomes by sneezing on them. You know what I mean? The antivirus that manipulates mRNA. Don't. Okay, Chris, bad Chris. Chris, don't make me think about things that I've had in my body because I had to for work. So don't, bad Chris. Bad Chris. So yeah, so that felt like at least 2 episodes into one. So, but I didn't disagree with him when I was watching it. So,
well, again, he was looking at the other. Phlox was also looking at the other species, which they said was a completely different species, for a cure to a genetic disorder, which is idiotic.
Yeah, I'm not looking at monkeys for a cure for us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like I'm going to look at the genetic code for antelopes to try to cure the common cold. What?
Yeah. What he should have done is he should have gone to the ones that are immune right now, and then that's why I said 2 different episodes. You don't have the other, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had the suppressed class kind of thing, because they were getting at that, and kind of agree that they were kind of a little suppressed and suppressing their development, right? That alone could have been a fascinating episode topic.
That could have been something. That could have been something that we could have seen. Yes.
But the virus thing makes it complicated, and I didn't like it.
Yes. And as we see, but how many times in any society do you see one group of people that's very technologically advanced and another group of people that's not as developed, and yet they are living together?
Well, yeah, it's that episode is what I'm talking about. The episode where you have kind of like a benevolent, it's not parasitic relationship, but you know what I'm talking, like a mutual beneficial relationship.
Yes.
Now, one
mutualism.
Yes, mutualism. That's okay. So you could have had like these 2 species, right? And that one's really, you have the one technologically advanced one, you have the other one that's kind of, you could view as a repressed species class, almost like a slave caste, right? But they're happy. And Enterprise and the people on it literally cannot comprehend why they would be happy, and they try to force that their views upon them, and they have to learn. Remember Game of Thrones did this, where Daenerys had to accept that some slaves wanted to be slaves
because it was the only thing they knew.
Yeah, so some slaves wanted to be slaves, and that is an insane thing. Like, almost nobody's going to understand.
Okay, again, I won't go into spoilers since I know you're still watching it, but in season 2, there is an episode along those lines with Tucker.
Okay, all right. Well, at least they took the idea.
And I will say, the episode I'm thinking of, it's like in the second half of season 2.
Okay.
That is one of my personal favorites of Enterprise.
Okay. All right. So
They do take that idea of putting your morals onto another species and seeing the consequences. And I'll just leave it at there.
Yeah, that's I like that idea. It's a very good idea for an explorer, right? Because you've seen that in human history many a times. Missionaries, for instance, the Spanish conquistadors coming over and taking over the Native American, I guess Aztecs, I think is what they were trying to. And yeah, it's just. That is interesting because it is a thing that humans have been known to do, is to force their beliefs on others. Hell, we're still dealing with it, just in different ways. Your moral code and your ability, your culture and what you think is the correct way to do things, sometimes it isn't for other people. Sometimes that's not the way to do things. So. Yeah. Yes, we're not getting into that. We're not.
Yeah,
it was the thought that counted, Bam Bam.
and sometimes you put $2 trillion into a foreign country and have it all fall apart.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that number from. It just popped in there.
That is a weird number just to pull out of thin air.
Just great use of taxpayer money. Anyway, moving on.
Yes. Moving on. So you have two separate episodes of the do we like basically get this class to revolt, this species to revolt against their other people and inadvertently start a war, which could have been a great way to introduce the Prime Directive as like a thing to exist, right? That would have been a great way to start that as a process, because I actually don't remember how the Prime Directive got. They weren't defacing missionaries. Okay, yes, I know, but they shut up.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
Shut up. You know what I mean. Whatever. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Shut up. Shut up, Chris. Okay. I have forgotten my South American history. All right, my bad. So you have the episode of that. You can introduce the Prime Directive like that. Blames the French. Okay, the French are always a good place to blame. And then you have a singular species on a planet, and they need a cure. You can pretty much do the exact same episode, just cut out the other species, and they have a cure that affects a third of the population. They have the means to cure it. But then it's like, well, do we? Do we actually cure this? And hell, you could do a third episode about do we give them our warp information? There's I'm thinking there's more like 3 episodes in this. So there's a lot of ideas. Simple episodes are pretty good. Simple episodes for the most part. Help. So anyway, the musical.
I am not a Prime Directive purist, and I believe. I mean, I can understand not getting involved. I can understand not getting involved in political affairs and wars and stuff like that. I'm totally fine with that. But when a planet is about to destroy itself, or if there's a disease on a pre-warp civilization, I don't see the issue in helping them.
It depends. It completely depends on the situation. 100% depends. That can be fine, and then you can eventually have them down the road figure out warp drive, and they can join, and that would be fun, or it totally and utterly backfires. You could do that, and that could pop up later as like a consequence. There's a lot of interesting things to do before the Prime Directive. And no, I'm not a Prime Directive purist either. I think there's exceptions to the rule, but it's one of those things where the exceptions to the rule have to be like really thought out. You can't just willy-nilly throw it away. It has to be very particular, very specific, and you almost can't even write it into law because it would be so specific. Because like two different situations that are almost the exact same, but with one little difference, could be like you could have totally different responses to it. So that's it. Just interesting. Interesting stuff. Hi, Arlena. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so, speaking of Star Trek, yes, I'm rolling with it. We're doing it. Segue. I need to get a GIF for it, just like a segue that just rolls in. Also, I will say, yeah, we're doing this through Variety because you're welcome. That's the only way to do this. Is to view it through Variety.com. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it adds to the cringe?
Oh,
you like it? Hey, you like the little thing that they chose?
That headline alone might have just given me cancer. Wow.
I don't understand why you would do it, but whatever, I guess. I like the picture they chose. Of all pictures for them to choose, they chose this one.
Yeah.
Anson Mount
desperately needs a new agent.
I do check my text. I'm just really bad about typing out
replying.
Yes, I check them. I'm bad at replying. Anyone can tell you that. Because I'll be 9 times out of 10, I'm in the middle of work when I get a text, and so I'm like, I'll do it after work, and then I don't do it after work.
And then you completely forget, yeah.
And then I completely forget, yes. So, yes, because I suck. Alright. Oh no, guys, it has a spoilers. Oh no.
Oh.
Can we handle the spoilers? Oh no. Not spoilers.
Hi, Loki.
Actually, that was our patio door.
Oh.
It's also squeaky. We have lots of squeaky. So anytime, if someone was to break into our house, they wouldn't be able to sneak at all because all of our doors are super squeaky.
That's fair.
So, all right, this is exciting. So yes, Alec discusses the plot. We get to find out the plot, guys, because I'm not gonna torture you all by watching it. I'm not gonna torture myself by watching it. So, since premiering in 2022, Star Trek Strange New Worlds has already embraced body swapping comedy. Oh yeah, great.
Oh.
Which I think of the Scooby Doo movie when I think of body swapping comedy.
It's pretty lowbrow, yeah.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always
it's like the whole idea of the whole body swapping thing. It works in animation a lot easier than it does in real life.
it can't. It has to be the right, one. It just has to be the right characters to do it properly.
The best example I can think of Star Trek doing this was there's an episode of Voyager where the Doctor is implanted into Seven of Nine, so she acts like him.
Huh. Well,
But
I can see
it
that
works.
because
It works because he's a computer program and she's a cyborg, so it works.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. That I was like, yeah, that seems like it would actually work out because of that. So
Yeah, it does.
all right. So Storybook fantasy. Oh, that's exactly what I want in Star Trek, and a crossover episode with the animated series Star Trek Lower Decks. Excellent. That's also exactly what I wanted. So perhaps it's not surprising that for the penultimate episode for season 2 of Strange New World, executive producers Henry Alonso Myers and Akiva Goldsman would mount the first ever full-on musical episode in Trek history. Have you ever considered that maybe they didn't do it for a reason? I don't want T-Mobile. I just stupid thing. All right. You'll get no money from me. Entitled Subspace Rhapsody. I can't say this word.
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody. There we go. The episode
Oh, that's not me?
with,
Oh, yeah,
what do you
Eris,
mean?
your mic is cracking.
Oh no.
I thought that was my headphones for a second, but yeah.
Oh
Other
crap.
people are saying...
Hold on. Let me close out my tabs. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh my
Freaking
goodness.
out. I'm not doing. There's nothing. I haven't done anything different. That's the weird part. Okay,
Hey,
I'm gonna
Kronos.
close out. Hold on.
What's a Kronos?
I don't know what a Kronos is.
How is a Kronos?
I don't know.
Yeah. You are sounding clearer.
Yeah, as I'm closing out things in the background.
Never mind, more crackle.
Boo. Is it variety? Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna unplug my mic and unplug back in.
This is a good long silence we're having. There we go.
Is it good?
It seems better.
Am I good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. But yeah.
I think you're good now.
It's all your fault.
Maybe.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault, Josh. All right, so I sound fine? Excellent. All right. Cool.
I take responsibility.
No. All right, cool. All right, so let me go back to maybe it's variety. Who knows? All right, the episode opens with the crew investigating of Enterprise, whatever. The crew of the Enterprise investigating one of the deliciously nerdy. I hate that. That makes this is a cringe. This is a cringe. I don't like it. That's cringe. Trek inventions, a naturally occurring fold in subspace. Okay.
I thought Spock was running an experiment. That's what caused it.
Well, obviously, he experimented so hard that he created a natural fold in subspace. All right, so I don't. Who knows?
Arlena, I thought we blame Loki around here.
We blame Loki around. What are you doing? Oh, this is what happens when it's Kurt's been trapped.
That's fair.
No. Yeah, no. Let's see. When Ensign Uhura, this person, suggests using scanning. What the? Suggests using scanning the phenomenon. That is a whole hell of a typo. Nonsense.
Wow.
No.
All right.
Suggest
So
scanning.
there's no editor.
Yeah. Okay. When Ensign Uhura suggests scanning the phenomenon. There we go. Scanning the phenomenon with music. Why? No. Why would they ever? Why would you scan with music instead of just using your scanners? How do you scan with music?
I'm not exactly sure how you scan with music, but if it causes a tear in subspace, then I can only assume it was Coldplay.
No, space-time.
Oh.
Yeah, subspace is Coldplay. Let's see, what is space-time? Lizzo.
I was so happy I got greeted to that picture when I woke up this morning. That was fun.
Yeah. All right, wait. Signal instead. Why are you scanning with music, you idiot? The signal instead causes a tear in space-time that plunges the crew into an alternate reality in which everyone. If it was space-time, it would still be in your reality, right? Space-time is the four-dimensional.
Yes, it's
like,
not so it's an alternate dimension, but that's not how that's not how the space-time continuum theoretically works.
Yeah, who needs to look up science for your science fiction show? In which everyone starts singing out their most intense and intensely. Oh my good lord! You literally like what? All right, for those who write, okay, generally you don't want to use the same word like twice in the row, especially when it's a descriptive term. Their most intense and intensely private feelings. Why would it ever? I would believe Q was fucking with him before I would believe them falling into a tear in subtime that plunges the crew into an alternate reality. I would believe Q was fucking with them.
Q would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It would have. And Arlena, if you don't like the Coldplay joke, then how about Dave Matthews Band? Does that still work?
We'll see. All right. Here we go. And it really is just about everyone. Oh god, there's so many names here that make me want to die. Okay, so Uhura, Pike, Chin Riley?
I hate that they gave her a name. She was number 1.
Oh, well, that makes more sense. Number 1, Spock. Lieutenant Spock sounded weird. Isn't so? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but that name looks familiar.
Yes, she is a descendant of Khan.
Oh, why?
You have a character that is a descendant of Khan on the show.
Why?
Because they have no originality at all.
Oh no, Kirk, why are you here? Oh dear.
Yes. Even though he shouldn't be on the Enterprise at all.
Yeah, I was kind of confused by it. Why is Kirk on the Enterprise at this point?
He
Oh my
shouldn't
god, did they
be.
just watch the 2009 movie and thought that was accurate? Oh lord. But even I don't think the 2009 movie doesn't have number 1 in it, does it?
No.
Okay. Maybe they watched the first episode ever, like was it the unaired pilot?
Yeah, the cage.
Or the aired pilot? Yeah, the cage. Maybe they watched the cage and the 2009 Star Trek, and that's all they ever went into.
Possibly.
Oh my god. I read that as Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush is playing Nurse Chapel. And everybody claps.
Please clap.
Kathleen Harris is Kathleen. That is fact. Kathleen Harris is Kathleen.
Yeah.
I'll get standout solos. Excellent. All right. As Myers and Goldman explained to Variety, Subspace Rhapsody was the result of more than. Yep, I told you this took a lot of work for no payoff. 6 months. Took 6 months of intense work by the casting crew as songs were built around the actors' respective vocal abilities. Well, you know what? That is the smartest thing that I think they've done.
That's what you should do. That's what, especially when you're looking at when you're doing a TV show. So you have a set cast. You should tailor the songs around what they are capable of.
What? Wait, hold on. She's the doctor on the ship? I thought she was a nurse.
She is a nurse, but she basically is, from what the little I've seen, she seems to be running sickbay, even though she's a nurse.
Doctor. Well, who's the doctor?
Dr. Mbe, who
runs a sick bay? Okay.
He appeared in a few episodes of the original series under the command of Dr. McCoy. So at some point he gets fired and then is made to work on his former ship under the command of Dr. McCoy.
Why would you not just have McCoy on the ship?
It should be Dr. Jonathan Bryce, actually.
Okay. Why is he not on the ship?
Because they probably don't know who he is.
Fair. See, when I don't know something, I ask questions. What a bizarre concept.
And yes, okay. I did just look it up. When Kirk was a lieutenant, he should be on the USS Farragut.
Yeah, that was like a huge thing.
They mentioned that in the episode Obsession.
Don't they find the Farragut? What is it about the Farragut that happened that was important? I'm blanking. Help me.
That was the episode. That was the vampire cloud monster that would like suck all your blood.
Oh, logical.
And Kirk was on the Farragut when he was like one of like 12 people to escape. When it killed pretty much the whole crew.
Yes, and he has survivor's guilt. I forgot. Yeah, okay,
yes.
that's okay.
It's a great episode. It's a great episode.
I was fairly certain that was the case, but I just wanted clarification. Yes. Okay. All right, cool. Okay.
All right. Chris, what? Okay. What?
Hold on. You don't have crossover. You specialize. It's like you're majoring in college, right? When you major in college, you can't just switch from being like an engineer to a doctor. Even if you double major, because engineer, you go off to a separate school and you learn, you do you get all your certifications for that. For doctors, you go off in med school. You can't do both, so you can't just swap off. That none of that makes sense. Oh, hold on. That's fascinating. That's a little fascinating. I don't know how you do
Okay.
that, but that's fascinating.
I
And
mean,
I don't think
Scotty
that would-
did it, but that's Scotty. Scotty stayed alive in the transporter for years, but again, that's Scotty.
Yes. Okay. Interesting.
I just don't
Okay.
understand how you do that as a doctor.
I don't know. Okay, so they worked on it for 6 months, or more than 6 months. Obviously,
I mean,
yeah. And that's bare minimum, though, right?
Um, for a an hour-long episode, so I don't know how many songs they had, but it seems like a long time to work on one episode for.
I'm looking at the Buffy musical episode. I'm gonna see, the production. Okay, I wanted to see how long it took. Okay, Whedon spent 6 months writing the music alone for the Buffy episode.
Okay.
The characters spent 3 months in voice training. There was like 2 choreographers that worked to get the sequencing right.
I mean, it will grant you it takes a lot longer to do a musical episode because, especially if you are actually putting a lot of effort in,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a while to do it all.
Yeah.
I just don't see. It's just not a great idea to Star Trek. It's
Not from
what
Star
now?
Trek.
Plotting?
Oh yeah, you are pretty bad. I was trying to look at chat and see if it was me again.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna.
No,
I'll pop. I'll pop out and come back in.
maybe I'll let you in. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I'm alone. La 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 la. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Josh, there we go.
Hi.
Insane.
Is that better?
Ah. Okay, that was better. Hold on, keep talking.
Hello.
All right, that was fine. When you first came in, it was like blah.
Ah.
But now you're
Okay.
fine. Now you're fine. I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Showrunners also believed which performance ultimately did not make the episode. It should have been all of them. And what to make Kirk's allusion to. What to make of Kirk's allusion to and its complicated relationship with a woman named Carol.
Oh God.
I wasn't trying. I was entertaining. All right. Okay.
Also, terrible.
Okay, this is shit. This is shit choreography. If you're just lean into the musical episode and make them at least raise their hands like the same height. Cheerleaders in high school do better choreography than this. What is this?
And why is she in white? That's Nurse Chapel. She should be in blue.
She should be. Why is she in white? Oh, that's annoying. Why are you in white? Does it come with a pointed hood? Just curious. Okay, I gotta look at these outfits now. Okay, hold on. I'm zooming.
Oh, they're terrible.
Why is Spock's a dark blue instead of a light blue? Why are you wearing white? Why do you have a black stripe under your armpit and this person doesn't? Okay. Why are all these uniforms mismatched? See, they have a black stripe under theirs. Why?
That's
That's a dress. This is pants.
because I mean,
Those are pants.
The dress. It looks like they're trying to do like the It looks like they're basing the dress. Okay, so the two dress outfits look a lot more like the TNG uniforms that they just made a dress out of.
Yeah.
It looks weird, and
Gray boots,
I miss the TOS mini skirts. If you're gonna place it in that time period,
yeah. Okay, so we got pants, pants, pants. Is that dress?
I think that's a dress, but they're wearing.
Well, that's
tights
really
underneath.
short. Look at how short that thing is. That thing is over the line.
Oh, maybe
you know
maybe
it
is a shirt. Yeah, maybe that is a shirt.
So then, so pants, dress that looks like that. Then you have that has buttons going down it for some reason. Why are there buttons going? There's no reason for buttons to be going down. That has nothing. Let's see. I hate the white. The white's dumb.
The white jumpsuit looks like awful.
I don't like it. That's annoying. I hate two different blues. Why are there two different blues? This blue's not bad, but why are you wearing a dark blue?
I mean, the light blue looks very close to the color of the blue tunics from the original series. That's very close.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you wearing dark blue, Spock?
Are they trying to change how medical and science look in this show?
That's dumb. It's under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Medical field is a science field.
Yeah, it is.
Stupid. Anyway, okay, so you remember how everything had gold bands on it? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like you had the bread. So we have silver over here and we have red over here. So why is it gold, red, but then silver? Why is it not blue if you're going to do that?
That's a good question. And the braids were always gold no matter what.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if you were going to go this route, why is this silver instead of blue?
I don't know.
And I'm telling you right now, there's no way she's not getting a front and back wedgie, and it's going to be super obvious because it's white. Okay, there is no way she's not picking out wedgies like every half hour with that outfit. Onesies are very difficult to pull off properly, especially white ones. All right?
Yeah, and I think Chris might be right. I think they're trying to do an homage to the motion picture movie.
Well, it's dumb. Everyone agrees that the motion picture had like the worst uniforms.
They really did.
All right, I'm just seeing. Is there anything else on this? No, that's me. Look at that. Look at that face. Why am I here? It's obvious she's not wearing. You can't wear underwear with that outfit. You can't even wear a thong with that outfit because it's literally like that is every outline of every single everything that's happening there. You will be able to see. Hell, I can see the bra kind of that's happening here. Okay. She cannot wear underwear with that outfit. She just can't. Because you would see it immediately.
Yeah. That's kind of the big problem with doing skin tight outfits.
Yes. And you can roll with it, right? You know? There's certain material that you can get away with skin tight, but also allows you to wear undergarments without it popping, like literally looking like it's popping out of your skin. You can have different undergarments for those things. You know, like I'll give you a good example. T'Pol, She wears a skin tight onesie. At least in the first season. It's dark gray. It looks great. All right. But it's this dark gray that has like these spots on it. It's like this material that obviously she could wear undergarments and it would be fine.
Yes.
Because it's not thin. It's a thicker material. The thicker materials allow you to wear stuff underneath. That white looks like it is like honestly, if you ran into any sharp object, if you brush by a corner in the hallway or something, like you brush by a desk and you hit the corner, it's ripping your outfit. That's how thin that looks.
Mm-hmm.
So this should not be either. If it's skin tight, it needs to be thicker because that looks like what's the material? It starts with an S. Spandex. It looks spandexy. And those look like suede boots. Do those not look like gray suede boots?
I was actually thinking they kind of look like snow boots.
I think I might have a pair. I have a gray pair that kind of looks something like that, but they have fuzz. They're fuzzy on them. And so you have this skin tight.
So next time you go to a con, you can cosplay as the new Nurse Chapel. Aren't you excited?
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm going to have all the wedgies on the planet. I'm not going to be able to wear any undergarments. And if I run into anything, it's ripping right open, and then my butt's going to be out in the open. Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Don't you want to go to a convention where you're constantly worried about any movement being bad for you?
No, I do not. I will say I hate this dress. This dress is too thick because it makes her look like a box. You see what I mean? It makes her look like a box.
And that's Rebecca Romaine. It's like she's a very attractive woman.
Just give her... This black is not flattering her at all, okay? All right, it should have been a single color. That's fine, but it should have been clingy. So this material, but like not that thin. But you should have had it like more form-fitting. I don't mind tights underneath. I'm perfectly happy with tights underneath. That's fine. I don't care. Not a big deal. But if you're going to have them wear a dress like that, you need to have it more form-fitting. All right. I kind of just refuse to believe that there isn't that Starfleet would allow like their bridge on their like what is it flagship. Mm-hmm. One of the people on the bridge would look bad in their outfit because that's not. You don't want to give that impression. That's just you're really doing this woman a travesty with the box. It doesn't help at all. This shirt isn't bad, right? So long sleeve shirts, you have to account for the ability to move your arms. So I don't mind it being a little baggy,
And I think that's the descendant of Khan's character.
Oh. Well, at least she looks somewhat Indian. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like Benedict Cumberbatch. So I give them credit. They at least acknowledged that she actually kind of looks like she is. So I give them that. That looks like Kirk.
You need a different picture.
Ah!
What'd you do?
The website crashed.
Okay, then.
The website rejected. That's hilarious. Okay, well, I'm just going to move on from the picture, I guess. We'll go straight into the interview, because I just realized I have like 45 more minutes. Let's see, this is the issue. I start talking, and... Oh my god, are you not going to load? It's not loading.
Really? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up.
Okay. All right, I kind of put the X down, so it should be fine. I should just be able to read stuff. Okay. I think we'll be okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's an interview. How did the idea for this episode first arise?
To
Oh
be
my
fair,
god.
Akiva.
Please read
Oh my god.
the
All right.
honest fair
The
truth.
honest, fair truth is that Akiva, from the very beginning, had always been saying to me, "Can we do a musical in the first season?" And I was like, "No, it's too soon." It goes all the way to the season 1 of Star Trek Picard.
We were sitting on the set, and was it
God.
Shaban and I were
Shaban.
talking. Shaban and I were talking about a musical episode, and Shaban goes, "I know this one person." And Michelle Hurd was there, like, "Oh my god, call! Oh my god, call him! Oh my god! Oh my god, call him!" And so then, like 3 days later, Michael came in, and we said, "Did you call him?" And he goes, "Yeah, he didn't call me back because we're Star Trek." And he was like, "What? No." And so died the musical idea for that series. Oh my god, we could have had a musical on Picard. Can you imagine Patrick Stewart doing choreography dance?
I'm actually now picturing though him doing like extremely elaborate like dance moves, but his I'm now picturing like extremely elaborate dance moves, but it's obviously a stand-in, and they have Patrick Stewart's head like floating over the body.
That sounds hilarious. It's like obviously like someone in their 20s.
Yes.
I love musicals, I can tell, but know nothing about them. And then it turns out my partner, oh my god, this is Akiva still. Oh, this is still Akiva.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Lord. Okay. I love musicals, but know nothing about them. And it shows. And then it turns out my partner Henry had done this before and well. And so what a fucking delight. I mean, I had no idea what we were biting off. Henry clearly did.
Oh, joy.
You mean Henry, the man who said no? Henry, who said no, I don't think so, knew something about musicals, and he said no. Maybe you should have taken that. How can you love something you don't even know? I think she just likes watching them. And but you're a science fiction show, so it's kind of weird for you just be like, you know what? I watched Glee the other day, and I just absolutely love it. So we should put that because I love it. I should shove that into my show instead of doing this show like this show should probably be done, and then going and doing a musical elsewhere. Kind of weird.
Rambam, Michael Chabon was the showrunner of season 1 of Star Trek Picard. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
That he doesn't like.
And hey, Happy Dinosaur.
I don't understand. If you don't like science fiction, why are you working on a science fiction show? I don't know.
The idea for it came when we were pitching what season 2 should be. I remember Bill, one of our writers, had a crazy idea, and we were like, well, that's interesting. Let's try that. I did a bunch of musicals on The Magicians, and I did one on Ugly Betty. I haven't seen a single episode of either of those.
I've seen The Magicians.
Okay.
I don't remember musicals. Apparently, I cut out before The Magicians started doing musicals.
Was it any good?
I liked The Magicians, if I'm remembering the show correctly. It was like this magic-based show, obviously because it's magicians, but it was real magic, if I remember. But it's been a long time since I only only watched a little bit of it in college. I remember enjoying it, but I stopped watching it for a reason.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't know why.
Well, there's Chris. The magician started off okay, then dove into crap.
Maybe that's why I stopped watching it, Chris.
Okay.
Yes, adult-oriented Harry Potter. That's about right. Yes.
Okay. And so I just knew what a great pain it would be. I mean, how difficult it was. I started making calls probably about 6 months before production.
So the man who knew something about musicals, very obviously, even in this interview, didn't want to do one.
You keep the musical. There's a lot of work.
You're roboting again.
Damn.
Maybe it's me. Am I roboting again? I don't know.
Am I still robot?
You weren't, and then the second you said robot, it robot.
Be right back.
I'm alone again. Oh no. It's alright, guys. We covered it. We got it. We got it. Robo. Oh my goodness. Robo Fox. Moon Shatner can't sing. Well, I can't imagine Leonard Nimoy's Spot singing. It would be more like cyborging. You know, you're right. You're right, Ram Bam. It would be more like cyborging. Eris can sing again. I'm not singing again. Nah. I refuse. I refuse. I don't know. I think he's turning off his stuff. Turn it back on. There it is.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I forgot about that. There we go.
That was great.
That was
just very out of context.
out of context, Arwen. Yeah.
You can imagine Leonard. I can't imagine Leonard Nimoy's Spock singing. I should have been more specific. So, oh my goodness, I've been reading this kind of to myself as I was very, very, very entertaining to the chat. This is a hell of a thing, man.
I missed the best parts.
It's fine. We were lucky enough to suddenly have a cohort that knew how to do all these things, and they were collaborative. It was built around story and theme, and it was tailored to the vocal ranges of the particular actors, which should have been like that. That's not something to clap over. That just goes with doing a musical.
Yeah.
So we ended up with absurdly good casting on Strange New Worlds.
I mean, there are some decent actors on the show. I won't deny that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes no sense whatsoever. Usually there's a dud in the bunch. It was as if they all secretly had been coveting the idea of a musical their entire lives. So it was really good fortune on how much everyone liked doing it.
It's great. It doesn't fit in Star Trek. It just doesn't.
Like, okay, I'm glad that they all were musically talented. But what does it have to do with Star Trek? Oh my god, look at this. There are so many threads in this episode that originated much earlier in the season. Spock and Chapel's breakup.
Oh.
Why? Why were they together?
Wait a minute. At this point, wasn't Chapel engaged?
I thought
Because there was an episode in the original series where they're looking for her fiance.
Yeah, wasn't he like a scientist on like a vessel that went missing or something? Am I misremembering that?
Yes. And then he was found on like a robot planet or something like that.
And he was like super, super fucked up. He was not the same person, and she had to like come to terms with that. And it was like really tragic.
Christine, does this matter much to you? As he's like showing her like his like the circuits underneath his hand or something like that.
And she's like, "Yeah, bye."
Yeah, because her actual fiance was dead.
Yeah, it wasn't him anymore, and it was hard. It was a great episode for her. I liked that.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite Spock Chapel moment from the original series was her trying to do the Florence Nightingale thing, where she went and brought him soup, and then he yells at her and throws the soup, and it hits the wall outside of his. It's like throws the soup. He's like, "No!"
That's an amok time. Yeah.
Yes, I love the throwing soup moment. That's great.
I like the one where he was recovering. Oh, hey, Arwen. I liked the one where like Spock was like, I think he was like poisoned or something, and he asks her like, "You need to like hit me to help wake me up," and she's like lightly tapping him, and then Dr. Mbite comes in and just starts smacking him.
It's like, oh. All right, okay. Liana's feelings or her feelings of isolation. Oh, because she feels isolated even though she's a communications officer. Oh my god, it's so deep.
She feels isolated because of the lack of hair.
What happened to my girl's hair?
Oh no, is Space Will Smith gonna come by and smack us now?
Yes. Oh my goodness, no. So we don't break them episodically. We break the season first, so we know that our 10 episodes are in terms of character development. We know what our 10 episodes are in terms of character development, really. We're a hybridized object. We are episodic fundamentally in terms of plot, but serialized in terms of character arcs. I actually like that. I prefer that. I prefer, for the most part, episodic in terms of plot, but then you have overarching like character stuff and other stuff that's happening in the world. I don't mind that. But I have a feeling they didn't do it well. I don't know. I just have this feeling.
And especially for something like Star Trek, it should be something that anyone can just come in on any episode and be able to follow along.
Yeah, that's why I said like you have a thin overarching.
Yeah.
A thin overarching plot, which is my preferred way of doing things. And it's like, oh, I don't understand this other stuff that's happening. Let me go back and like try to, I want to watch more of it. So it gives you it gets you into the show by having like a self-contained for the most part, but then it gives you a bit of intrigue and mystery. So I just like that better. It makes you want to go back to the beginning and start watching all of it.
Yes.
Because you want to know why certain things are happening. Right, so we knew what the characters had to go through in the episode, and that was connected to where they had come from and where they were going. Okay. All right.
What was the most important thing for you to get right?
All right.
There were so many.
Let me scroll a little bit.
Okay. There were so many other people who ended up... No, this guy doesn't deserve the Christopher Walken voice.
How dare you?
If you worked on the musical episode of Star Trek, you deserve no dignity. Hi, Loki.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There were so many other people who ended up having to. Yeah, there's an apple in my view. I can't read that last word. There we go. There were so many other people who ended up having to work extremely hard on this thing, much harder than me. I was mostly just trying to coordinate it to make sure it was happening because I also worried about the next episode, which I was going to write. You know, the only middle of the night thing I remember having about this was waking up and thinking, this shouldn't be a funny episode. This should be an episode that breaks your heart and makes you want to cry. That's that's my everyday life.
Oh.
That's what people won't expect from this. They'll come in thinking it's going to be funny. And I was like, no, no, no. These have to have moments. They have to be about real character things. That was all I had coming. That's all that was all that I came in pushing.
I'm sure you had a lot of things you were pushing there, pal.
Hold on.
And
Let me
then-
scroll so I can get you the rest of it. There you go.
There we go.
And then everyone else jumped in and actually did it. We had someone to teach the people to sing. We had someone to teach them how to dance. The actual shooting of it weirdly was not as hard as you'd think, but only because it has months and months of work to lead up to it. Oh, it hurts to be me.
Hey, Clobby.
Hi, Chloe. How much of that was happening in parallel with the production and all the other episodes?
Oh, God, it's Myers again.
All of it. A lot of our cast was working around set, shooting previous episodes, looking at what they were going to be singing, playing with each other. They would come in on the weekend and work on the dancing.
You mean like professionals? You know, make sure you're ready for the next project?
No. We don't do that here.
Oh. I mean, he's describing the cast being professional. Okay.
Yeah, they worked on a weekend occasionally.
Yeah, getting ready for the next project. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Pretty normal. Yeah.
Especially in something, especially in something like for like a TV show where things are filmed out of order. So
they're not filmed out of order. What are you talking about, Josh?
But so you could have people who weren't scheduled to film that day come in and work on the choreography and or their songs or something like that. So like they're working for the next time they're called. That's just how it works.
What?
Yeah.
No. We don't do professional tisms here.
Oh.
How did you rinse the songs in the story?
We had broken an early concept of what the story would be, which we then shared with our composer and lyricist.
Oh, you mean you talked to the people writing the songs and told them what they should be about? Wow, that's great insight here.
Yeah, that's so unusual, Josh. Didn't you know that?
And they would send it back to us, and when we would give them, and then we would give them thoughts.
So you mean like any other musical?
That you gave them feedback? What do you mean?
How is this any different?
This is actually fairly normal.
Yeah. And he's like making it a big deal. It's like, well, we told them what the story would be. They wrote something, they sent it back to us, and then we gave them some notes. Like, yeah? That's essentially what he's saying.
Actually, that happens in every type of writing, just as a fun fact.
Usually.
It's called revising and editing.
No,
bizarre
Klobby.
thing.
And Klobby, no, we're just reading the Variety article on it.
No. We are watching it the way it was meant to be watched, through Variety.com interviews.
Not actually watching the episode.
No, I refuse. All right, I can't. This is one of those where I don't think I could actually deal with it, because it would just, like, I saw the Klingon pop band, and I told Loki to get out. he showed it to me on his phone in my office, and I told him, get out. And then he played it again, and I said, what are you doing? What did I do to you?
I think when I saw that, I tweeted out, or X'd out, I guess, whatever it's called now. I think I just retweeted it and just went total apathy, and that was it. Like, I just don't care anymore.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, you watched it, Klobby? That's why.
I'm sorry, Klobby.
The two writers who wrote the episode were deeply involved in that. We were trying to make sure that all of the stuff that they were coming up with linked with what we were coming up with.
That's called a collaboration.
No, it's different.
That's just a normal collaboration. Really?
No. It's different. It's different, Josh.
We were coordinating with our writers that they were doing what we wanted them to be doing. Yeah? He's making this sound like it's a big deal. That's how it's supposed to work.
No.
They wanted the show to feel like the show, and we wanted the show to feel like a musical. So we've kind of found this great place in the middle.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I still can't get over new Spock's stupid sideburns. They're better.
I hate the ears. The ears are bad too. I don't like it. He also doesn't look like he wants to be there, just in general.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Your Viney voice is scary. Yes. So, for example, who was the person who realized Spock could sing about being both Chapel's ex and the X variable in emotional? Okay, who the fuck wrote this? Who wrote this? You're fired. Who wrote that question? That is the worst thing.
Wow.
The X variable and an emotional equation. That's so cringe. You thought it was clever because math. Oh, look, you have another part. Hold on. I'll roll up so you can see it all.
I think that came from our composer and our lyricist. Usually we'd say, here's the emotional thing that's supposed to happen. We know the beginning and we know the end, because these are story scenes. It can't be just a song that describes everything you know.
Yeah, that's usually how songs work in musicals. It's either progressing the story in some way, or you're getting an insight into what the characters are feeling. That's usually how it works. It's usually one of those two things.
No.
Oh, okay. Um.
This has to be a scene that reveals something. So we knew what was generally supposed to happen, and then we were like, now that you have that, go have fun. Come back to us when you have something.
Okay. Again, it sounds like a collaboration. Just like you tell them what the scene is, go write a song about it. That's it's the same thing. And Eris, I know what Mark's talking about.
Perhaps. 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 Alright, so all these fuckers, they can sing. But can the rest of the cast, did you know the rest of the cast could sing as well? Was that part of the tryouts for Star Trek? Was it?
There's no reason why it would be. And who'd have thought? You cast a bunch of actors. There's a chance some of them have had musical training at some point.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. But no, our composer played with all of them to see what their range was, and we wrote for them. I mean, I didn't know that Ethan. I forgot my voice for his. I mean, I didn't know Ethan could sing until I went, holy fuck, Ethan can sing, which is, by the way, kind of what happens when you watch the episode. You're like, wait, Spock is singing now? No, it's not wait, Spock is singing out. It's why is Spock singing now, okay?
Yeah, that's the right question.
Yes. Are there any musical areas that you explored that ultimately didn't make into the episode? It should have been all of them. But we had one fantastic moment of contention, which we won. What do you mean? We won. There are two versions of the Klingons at the end.
And we did them both because we were like, we'll try out everything.
Oh, that's a great job with your budget.
Oh, what budget?
that's being so economical with your budget. You know, like, we'll just film both of them. It's not like, having like a singular vision or something. No.
The other version is great too, but this is the one that really kind of, knocked this out. That's why we wanted it.
We don't have a budget. What do you mean?
Ram Bam. Oh my god.
Oh my good lord, Ram Bam. What we see are the Klingons performing like they're in a pop boy band, but you shot another genre as well. We did an opera. Oh my god, they did the opera one. They did the opera one. They shot it. They shot the opera one.
The one that you should have gone with.
The obvious one, the one that everyone would have assumed would have been the case. Josh. But boy bands are better. Fire this person. What? Shut up. Oh my god.
My
you know,
god.
Akiva Goldsman is definitely the person that's like 50 years old at a Justin Bieber concert flinging their underwear at him. That is
yes.
100% Akiva Goldsman.
Absolutely.
The boy band took you by surprise. Yeah, and it was not a good one. No one.
Yeah.
I hate that.
They shot an operatic one, which again, the Klingons. That's what you should have gone with.
That was the obvious choice.
Because we've heard bits of Klingon opera throughout Star Trek, but we've never actually seen a Klingon opera. So that's the one thing you could have done that might have been slightly interesting.
You could have had like the spotlight. You know how they do like the spotlight on there, and there's just a random spotlight for no apparent reason on the Klingon ship, and it just, you do the whole, dramatic. You have some like fog come in and be super uber dramatic and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like make it actually look like they're on a stage instead of a ship, and just lean into, if you're gonna do something like this, I'll have the at least lean into it. But it feels very, how does it feel like so much work went into this, and then at the same time it's very cheaply done?
Yeah.
Does that happen? That's crazy. I don't. Man, I was really hoping when I read that sentence and I saw the opera, and I was like, damn, you should have done the opera one.
Yeah. We did an operatic one, which was just as good because the Klingons have a history at that. And it was also good.
But there's so much better.
The boy band took you by surprise. It was not what you thought was going to happen. I'm delighted by it. Oh, God.
I'm annoyed by it. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, Kirk's in complicated relationship. Woman named everyone knows it's Carol Marcus, who's pregnant with his son. Yes, David, Wrath of Khan. We meet Carol in season 3 of Strange New Worlds. I don't care. Oh, look. I think we can say is the conversation about James T. Kirk's love life is not over.
There's a lot of known history about his love life, and this part had never really been explored.
Except it has in other media, which is far superior.
It has.
There's there's the James T. Kirk autobiography, which was actually really, really good. That really explores him regretting not being able to be a father to David. It was
his regret is palpable. What is it called? Oh, the Generations one, the Generations movie. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Next Generation movie, whatever it's called.
Generations.
Oh, this is literally just called Generations. Okay, yeah. That one also hints at it pretty heavily at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, very, like almost on the nose heavy. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we thought, what an opportunity. That's really what we try to do on the show. None of these things that we know about happening later are known to the people in it. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because it's happening to them now.
Yeah, just because we know like what stories that later happen with Pike or with Spock or whoever doesn't mean that you have to write them in a way of I know what my future is. No, you can write the story of them on that path. You don't have to. Just because you know what the end point is doesn't mean you're necessarily boxed in with what you're doing. You can do interesting stories within that box.
Yeah.
Or you have a box, but the box is a TARDIS.
True. Oh my god, look. It's a nerdy question. Ooh.
Oh.
Did you do the math as far as when Kirk's son is supposed to have been born in the time? You mean basic knowledge? Did you have the basic knowledge in order to know that you are actually doing this on the correct timeline? What a dumb question.
Oh, we always do math. We take off our socks and everything.
We always do it. Anytime we can make canon work, anytime we can make canon.
Really?
Anytime. Are you sure? Why is it not all the time? Hey, someone wrote this thing that happened before. We should probably make sure it works with our thingy. But it's more like, it's like guidelines. Like, I mean, if it works out, it works out, you know? So, and that should just be the default, that you should work around the canon that exists already.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think one of the best examples, because fans are usually very, very, very meticulous when it comes to the things they love.
Yes.
The only time I can think of in recent memory when the fan base universally just went, "Oh, fuck this," was when the War Doctor was introduced and people were going, "Okay, so that's now the Ninth Doctor, or how?" Fuck it, he's the War Doctor.
Yeah.
The Ninth Doctor is still the Ninth Doctor. We're just gonna keep going with that.
I
And you have like 10 minutes
mean,
left, right?
I know. We're kind of near the end. All right. Well,
Okay.
we will skip. Let's skip. Oh, look, we're at the end.
Oh.
Hold on. I can read it. I mean, we'll body English around it now. We'll body English around it. What the fuck is this word?
What?
Okay. I mean, we'll body English around it now. What does this mean? What does it mean? Make it make sense.
We'll body English around now and then for the sake of the story.
Oh, round it now and then. Okay, I read around it now. And then I heard it. I saw and I assumed that was the second half. Okay, all right. That was me for not finishing that.
No, so there should be a comma after then.
Okay, so that's what. Okay, my brain was like short circuiting. I was like, this is so awful. What happened? For the sake of a story, but fundamentally, we really try to adhere.
Sure you do.
I'm
Sure you do. That's why Spock has a net. Oh.
Oh, would you do another musical episode? In a heartbeat.
Absolutely. But now that's a high bar. I mean, it helps when, everything's a high bar when you're a manlet, but that's how it is. It has to earn itself to be purposeful and feel like a great thing to do, but we loved it.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
Sure.
Wonderful. You know that.
Okay. I agree,
You're losing brain
Kronos.
cells, Kronos. Nice. Good. I guess I just don't understand. Why don't y'all go make a musical show if that's what y'all want to do? I don't understand. Oh, look, there goes another one. Yeah, well.
I feel dumber now. And I didn't even watch the episode, and I feel dumber.
I have a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah. The biggest question is still, why?
I think my question is, I think it's just a statement, I guess, following before I question. Just so they very clearly, at least to me, don't want to do Star Trek stuff. They want to do other stuff. And so instead of going and doing other stuff, they're like against their will doing this stuff. And like almost in a protest, they're making it, I don't know, it's very strange. Like so the stuff they want to do and the stuff that they are currently doing do not match at all. So they're trying to force the stuff they want to do into the stuff they are doing. It almost seems spiteful.
Yeah.
Just go do the stuff you want to do.
That sounds like work.
yeah, that's kind of what you're doing. You're working. And it's bizarre to just allow this to happen.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I'm sure there's many a writer or many a director and producer that has done stuff that they didn't want to do necessarily, and yet they still did it and respected whatever they were doing. You know, like they needed the money, and they did the thing that they didn't really want to do, but they still did it well because it's like having pride
Yeah.
in your job. Is, hey, even though I don't want to do this thing, I'm still gonna do it well because you have like pride as a human being. And like I totally get that, like on a spiritual level, particularly now. And to me, it's just kind of insulting to see somebody getting rewarded in a way, at least monetarily and with like more contracts and stuff. It's weird. It's very insulting to see somebody get rewarded for outright refusing to do what is being asked of them to do just by like what they are now doing and doing what they want to do. So that's very strange. It kind of makes me think, all right, so you have a very limited range. If you can't suck it up and do what you need to do properly, you don't have to enjoy every aspect of your job, and you don't have to enjoy every job that you do. But you need to at least respect whatever job you're doing enough to make it good. And you're just like, oh, you know what? I've been asked to paint this building, and they want it green, but I want it purple and blue striped. So I'm going to do that instead, even though I was hired to paint this green.
Makes sense.
And then nobody tells them that they did a bad job and that's not what they were looking for.
Going with purple and blue stripes is stunning and brave.
Yeah, even though our company colors are green and black, and in no way, shape, or form is this going to match, and it looks silly because not only did you paint it stripes, you did it shittily, like you didn't even use painter's tape. You just started painting lines freely, so it's not even straight. And it doesn't look good, and it's going to cost us even more now to fix it, and it's going to take longer, but we're not going to tell you that. We're just going to let you continue doing that with the rest of our company.
Yeah.
So like every franchise we have, we're now just going to do that, and then they're like, well, now I want to do orange and white, and they're just like, okay, but I want to make it polka dots instead of stripes. So it's like it doesn't match at all. And whatever you feel like doing, you're just being okay to do it, even though you were hired to do something very specific. I don't get it.
And just to add to that, after reading the amazing insight from the producers, as requested by Chris, what you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
10 out of 10. I love that. Where is that from, by the way?
Billy Madison.
I absolutely love it. Oh, okay.
It's from Billy Madison.
It's a fantastic quote.
It really is.
So I just don't. Yeah, I just don't understand why. Like we all have had jobs where, and we've been asked to do things that we don't want to do for our job, and you have to make a decision. But you were like hired to do this thing, right? So it's not that you had this job before and now it's changed.
Right.
Right? And you can either change with it or you can go find a new job. So those are your two options. So this person was hired to do a job and then proceeded to not, or these two people were hired to do a job and then proceeded to not do it. And from what it sounds like Henry is the more level-headed of the two, has more restraint.
Yes.
And Akiva is just like chaotic. Like she is chaos impersonated, but not in any kind of fun, good way. Just like, well, I feel like doing this today, so whatever. I'm just gonna do blah and blah and blah, and I have no direction and I have no like structure or stability, and I'm just wandering around on this planet and kind of doing whatever whenever, and I'm driven by my feelings and my thoughts and my lizard brain, and I'm not gonna sit down and be like an adult for 5 seconds with responsibilities and obligations, and there's no consequences when I do that, so why would I ever change?
Yeah.
It's bizarre. I don't get it. I don't get people being rewarded for shit. Being a professional. Yes, Rambam, it is called being a professional.
Yeah.
Is Akiva? How old is Akiva? Okay, before we go, I need to find out how old Akiva Gorman is. Akiva Gorman.
It's gotta be in his 50s.
Oh my god, I thought it was a woman this whole time. That's not a woman. That's a dude. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Akiva was a woman this whole time. Made more sense.
Wow.
I thought it was like a 50-year-old woman. That was very... Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, sir, you don't match what you do not match. Sir, you do not match the person I imagined you to be. Based off this interview, I thought you were like a 50-year-old wide mom that was having a midlife crisis. Oh my good lord! He's
a 61-year-old bald dude.
Oh my god! I thought they were gonna buy like a pink Jeep with the doors off and get a tramp stamp and get blonde highlights. Oh my god! I thought I was like they were trying to reconnect with their teenage years because they've got their first gray hair. That's who I thought this was. That is so funny. Oh my lord, it's a man.
Well, that's a stretch.
Oh. Oh my. Sir. Why do you sound like an unstable woman in your interview? That's what I read him as. Because that's what I thought he was. I thought he was like this, just, oh my good lord, that's funny. Okay. That's okay. All right. I thought that was a woman. All right. We learned something today.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That is the funniest thing. Okay. All right. Are we certain with how she identifies? I don't know. His interview read like a chick.
Yes.
And Henry's interview read like the reluctant but kind of supportive husband.
It did.
Like, I don't really want that to happen, but okay, here, honey, I'll do it. Holy hell. Okay, I think that's a good note to end on. Star Trek musical? Yes. Star Trek musical.
Yeah.
Correct. I think that's a good note to end on. Me being baffled that was a man. Okay. Josh, do you have anything happening?
No, still working on my Picard review.
Oh. God damn it. I don't have anything else going on. I got Stoof next week, so Well, when I say stoof next week, I mean the show. So.
Oh, hey, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Well, we're gonna peace out. I swear to God, if y'all are rating as I'm leaving, that's funny. Oh no, that was you. Oh no. It's alright. You're helping him with last night. It's alright. It's all good.
And you're getting more diverse viewership, more unique
Okay.
viewers.
Yay! Diversity. Alright. Well, thank y'all for coming. We're gonna go now because I have to leave. So.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye!